Shalom, everyone. Today is Sabbath again. Here I come on Sabbath again. Um, I just kind of felt pressed a little bit to talk a little bit as a word of encouragement um, for the body because we're all, as I keep saying, we're all in that refiner's fire right now with regard to getting into the ark. So I want to talk just real quick, not anything long, about long duration of times that we spend in correction. The times for correction is for, these seasons are arduous, they're really tough to get through. Um, they're for refining, but corrective steering too. Uh, kind of like how we drive a car or a bicycle. Okay, it's just corrective steering to help us to be able to come to that place in Father where no matter what's going on around us, we obey. It's times of correction and refining are to work obedience within us in that we just respond to Father, you know, real quick, without even a second thought, because we know the sound of his voice. We know where he's been pushing us to. Okay. Now, a lot of times when people go through heavy seasons of correction, it tends to bring them down. And that's what I kind of want to talk about. Um, Especially if we focus on the difficulty part of this type of season. It's hard to count it all joy when we're going through it because it is grievous. I myself have been under a long, and I mean very long, season of correction, and I go through phases. I'm going to tell on myself here so that my experience maybe can help you guys. Uh, but I go through phases where I almost get fearful, okay, which, that's typical of how the soul will do. I get fearful that I'm not going to measure up, that I'm not going to make it, that I'm not, all these things. Because some of the things that he brings up during this correction time, this purging time, this refining time, will these things will stay up, like up here and sticking out like a sore thumb to me for it seems like forever. um and it's not that I want to disobey Father or fight against the process. It's just some of these things are deep seated, and they're really difficult to get through. And then, sometimes, like, and of course, the adversary, he's going to come and he's going to totally turn your world upside down, during this time, too, because he doesn't want you to succeed. Um, so it seems like, during when it's like that for me, it's like I get bombarded from every direction, just, ugh, you know, and the graciousness of our Father, he always will pull me back to that space with him where I'm able to go, okay, okay, I know what I need to be doing. Okay, so here we go, and bam, right into a brick wall again. Because if we don't get our lessons and if we don't get through it the way he wants us to get through it, then what he will do is he'll make sure that we have more opportunity to polish that up. And that's just how he does. Another thing too is during times of these long durations, your soul gets severely afflicted. And that's okay because it's up on the cross. Okay, all the flesh tendencies, the mind, will, and emotions of self, all that is up on the cross, and you're literally feeling the death of it. Sometimes you feel like we're getting skinned alive or peeled like an onion. Um, it's necessary, though, and I'll tell on myself again. Uh, and I do this not to make you lose faith in me, but to let you guys know that, no matter how much you grow in the Father, you still go through these times. So like there's times when when my mental focus, excuse me, gets caught up in the world so much and the cares of life and all that, which we all go through that, where I'll kind of lose, I don't want to say really lose my way, but I get kind of off kilter for a while. And then, of course, I'm going to the Father, and I'm like, oh, la, 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 la. And his response to me is, you know, he'll tell me, quit talking like a baby. Quit acting like a baby. You know exactly what you're supposed to be doing. You know exactly how to find your way. I've trained you. You don't have any excuse. So quit your complaining and your whining and your crying around. Quit acting like a baby. It's like, gee, thanks for the encouragement. So, we just have to count it a joy when we're going through this because the Father is rooting and pulling down and plucking out the things that are within us that don't look like him, that don't think like him, that don't love like he loves, that don't behave like him. All these things. And so the more of our garbage he shows us, of course, we're going to be like, ah, where in the world did that come from? Uh, but if it's in the heart and it's hiding there in the soul, it will come out. And so we just have to discipline, do some self-talk, talk to, and I'm not saying that in a new age. What I mean is command the soul, okay? The mind, will, and emotions, you know, talk to the self part of you and say, look, you are not going to lead us to destruction. I forbid you in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach. Now, am I even successful at that? Not 100%, because I have this brain that wants to jump around like a wild monkey. I have a soul that wants to have its own way, just like anybody else does, you guys. But if the Father is showing us these things, these are answers to our prayers. And even like King David, remember in the Psalms, search me, Lord, and know my heart. Try me and know my thoughts. If there be any wicked way in me, right? Isn't that the way we want it? So then when he shows it to us, we freak out sometimes. So you guys, just be encouraged because, this is a very, very important time for us right now. He's trying to get us all ready. He's, and if you get caught in a season of correction, you know, feel free to comment to me and I'll give you my email address and then we can communicate. And, I'll encourage you because I totally know how it is. Gosh, it seems like I've been in correction, like intense correction for well over a year, you guys. It's like, but he won't let me out of that position. He won't let you out of that position or that positioning until he works his perfect will in you so that he is glorified in every way, shape, and form in every single part of us. So, you guys, let's hold each other up in prayer. I know I'm not the only one going through this, okay? The whole world is in dealings and correction and refining right now. So, let's encourage one another. Let's be there for one another. Let's don't do the lone wolf thing. Let's not separate ourselves away, because to be honest, that's exactly what Lucifer would like for us to do. um, because if you look at the way lions and wolves and hyenas and all that, how they hunt, what they do is they'll go to a herd and they'll single one out, and it's usually one that's got some physical problems, or it's young, or it's old, or it's sick, or just whatever, and they will single that one out away from the herd, and it's prey at that point. It doesn't get to survive. So if you look at this ravenous adversary that we have, he would love to have us all separated from one another, okay? And, getting out of one accord with each other as well. Look, if we get in a position where we don't want to be around people, okay, we got to look at the problem. The problem isn't the people, it's how we approach the problem, okay? Uh, and some of our best lessons come through such times. You guys, we got to start uh, getting determined to not draw back, okay? We can't draw back. Let's go through it head on, and if the soul flares up, command that soul, magnify the Adonai in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach. Father, be it unto me according to thy word. Father, have your way in me. That's the only way, because if we allow our soul to govern during that time, we're going to allow the soul to cheat us from growth and training and all these things, you guys. We got to just get determined and not draw back and just go through the process, no matter how much it sets us ablaze, okay? If it takes our peace, let's find our peace in the Father. If it takes our comfort, well, we don't grow in a comfort zone now, do we? We get stagnant. So, there's all these things, and the Father's ways are not our ways, and the things that he pushes us through and drills us through, okay, is not for him, but it's for us, so that we can be partakers of his glory. And so, you guys, I just want to encourage you, okay? Don't give up. Don't feel like you're just not going to measure up, or you're not going to succeed, or that you're stuck in rebellion and all this stuff, okay? The soul is, but this is what's being worked out in us at this particular time. And Father wants to cement that obedience in us. I mean, look, even the scripture says, Yeshua, though he were a son, learned obedience through the things that he suffered, right? So if the pattern son had to go that way, then who are we, right? We have to follow that same pattern. So you guys, be blessed and be encouraged in the love of the Father. And remember, the Father chasteneth whom he loveth, and those who he does chasten, those he receives as sons. So anyway, that's it. That's all I wanted to say. Shabbat shalom. You guys have a blessed day. Okay? Until next time. Bye bye.